with me, I have Jason James. He is a 2019 Electronics Engineering Technology Mechatronics ECPI graduate. He graduated from our Newport News campus. Thanks for joining me, Jason.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, I want to kind of dig into what you're doing with your degree now. So, where are you working and what do you do for them?
I work for a large military contractor. I am currently a manager of a mechanical engineering design team. I have about 13 people underneath me that currently report to me. So using the degree has helped me boost up to that position of the manager role, where I was previously, I was a designer and I basically could not go any further. I was stuck at a dead end job without having that higher education. I was not able to progress. Once I got that higher education with ECPI in the mechatronics, they promoted me to engineer, working with the engineers, doing calcs, making sure systems and items were in line with specs and they're operational properly. Uh, After a couple years of doing that, they saw the potential and how much I have learned and how much I have grown just going over through the higher education with ECPI. The company has promoted me to a manager position. I have been in this role for a good 4 to 5 years now.
Awesome. That's great. So, can you kind of take us through what your daily life looks like? Like when you go into work, what are some of the tasks that you have?
When I go into work, some of the tasks I have is, of course, watching over everybody, making sure they're all doing. I am looking over the technical aspects of every person that's underneath me, looking at all their piping drawings, all their ventilation drawings, dealing with the thermodynamics, hydraulics, dry air piping to electronic systems, and making sure that everything is cohesive and works together without any issues.
That's great. So, if you had to say one thing, what's your favorite part about your job?
I love the interaction with people. I love being able to sit down and talk and work hands-on side by side with my employees, being able to help them understand and teach them what is wrong with their drawings or how to fix it, why we can't do certain things. And I also like digging into the research, being able to develop these systems instead of just following a generic manufacturing schematic or drawn. I am creating these drawings with these other engineers and we're installing them on the world's greatest navy actually.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, if you could think back to your time here at ECPI and the different classes that you took, I'm sure there's probably some that you think back on now in in your job. What are some classes or maybe just things that you learned at ECPI that are really helping you in your career?
So some of the things I've learned that are really helping me in my career is coding. I learned how to code with the mechatronics, microcontrollers. We have done projects for the military where we have used these microcontrollers, and with that, learning from ECPI, it helped me develop and produce what the customer was asking us to do. Um, so learning that aspect of things was amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's helpful. So, before you enrolled at ECPI, it sounds like you were kind of in like the engineering industry a little bit already, but why do you think you as a person chose to go towards engineering technology as your career?
Well, just like any other traditional schools, a hardworking father, I'm working 10, 12-hour days, and it wasn't feasible to go to a traditional college and be able to sit in class for just an hour or so to get a degree in 10 years. I needed something pretty quick and to be able to boost my lifestyle and provide for my family. that towards me to the engineering technology side of things. And with that, it's the mechatronics when I was told that from my advisor with ECPI, it was I was all in, I've dealing with HVAC systems when I was in straight out of high school, and I always liked the electrical side of things. And then when he was telling me, oh yeah, with mechatronics, you're dealing with electrical, you're dealing with hydraulics, pneumatics, and putting a whole aspect, it was just that's what drove me and got me hooked, was like, that's awesome. I want to do this.
Oh, that's cool. So, you kind of mentioned that speed was a big deal to you when you were looking at schools. So you wanted an accelerated program. What else made you ultimately choose ECPI University as your school?
I heard a lot of good stories from people that have gone to ECPI. Uh, so a lot of word of mouth, doing the research, the school itself, looking at the reviews, it got me interested. And then on top of that, my wife is a graduate of an ECPI. And when I got to see her progress and walk across that stage, that even drove the fire under me more to go out there and pursue that even further.
Yeah, that's great. Because your wife was medical assisting, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let's talk about when you're towards the end of your degree at ECPI and you are, maybe looking at different career opportunities. Can you talk about the process of figuring that part out, like what you're gonna do next?
And so when I was towards the end of my program, I was looking at other opportunities. I was looking at possibly, I wanted to go to Disney, to be honest with you. I wanted to be an Imagineer out of the places. It's just, you're dealing with robotics, and that's probably like the one place that everybody knows everything. And for people to enjoy that, uh, so I was looking at all these, and then, the company came by and sat there and said, look, you are learning the new age of technology. There is no more analog. Everything's digital, getting smaller, more condensed. We need people like you. And, the learning what military has come with the new technology that is learned in the mechatronics and learned with robotics, it just drove me to stay in the military defense industry more.
Yeah. Did you have to put any applications out there or tailor your resume? Anything like that?
I did have to tailor my resume just a hair. I had to put in applications for other positions within the company, and that's when I was tailoring my resume to match what I did at ECPI on top of the experience that I've had working with the tools and being able to follow simple schematics and simple diagrams and engineering drawings, which is something you also learn in the mechatronics program. Knowing all of that and being able to tailor that into my resume, that just blew the resume up. And now it's constantly like, hey, we want you to do this. We want you to do this. And, I have ECPI, I think, for that.
Oh, that's awesome. So, a lot of current students who are in the engineering technology program, and maybe some prospective students as well, are going to see this video. What advice do you have for those people?
Open that door, go for your goals. If I can do it working father full time, I know you guys can do it. Just keep chasing that dream. You never want to stop learning. I know it's hard. You got to push forward and go for it. The rewards on the outcome will be astronomical.
Thank you. So, what are your career goals? What's the end goal for you?
So I'm hoping to be able to jump up from just a design engineer manager to a program manager. Eventually I'm going to look back, going back, gain my master's degree in engineering, so I can hop into that program manager role and be able to run the programs themselves as a whole instead of just being an identity to that program.
Yeah, great goal. Well, thank you so much, Jason. I really appreciate you. And if anyone has any questions for Jason, please reach out to me and I'll get you connected.
Sounds great. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.